Yo, welcome to the Irregular Chatter podcast. You've got me, Alex and Soji Knight. Let's go and let's do this.
When was slavery completely abolished? What year?
I'm not sure, but when Abraham Lincoln was president, I think he was the one that abolished it. Let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
let me just quickly even Google itself. It's something we should even learn. Let's even know. It's our people's
yeah,
history.
actually, has been
The 1865.
1865. So
Yeah,
that's like 135, 155 years ago.
yeah.
Okay. So,
So
but are you saying, well, let me see, within 165 years, how many generations can we say? Like, that's like,
technically, if you
okay,
calculate it, that would be like more than 5 generations. Because like, let's say every 30 years you have a new generation.
okay. Okay, using that start now, so except if you are
Mm.
saying like, those particular people, those people can't have died out completely, like, they
No,
can,
but
like, they are
no,
just,
it's based on population. Like
okay, so they are
the
just saying like
country
your
did not
population.
blow. Like the country did not blow in population until like the whole like industrial revolution. And during that
Okay.
time was when
Mm-hmm.
people were coming in the most because it wasn't even possible to bring in as many people as like all these trading route and then the shipping routes and all that. Like you did not have ships that could actually make those journeys in a healthy manner because ships used to be very filthy. You can't just carry people planes. Many people die at sea. So, but there was a lot of influx of people from Europe, like in the early like 1900s, and most of the people that are here now are descendants of those people. You get
Yeah, I
so.
get.
I
I
feel
actually
like
understand that to like with the whole population influx from immigration and all of that, but it's just that 5% seems low. Like it just seems like
that's what you would think until you look at what
how
they call it.
America
Okay, the
who
total number of there's more than 300 million people in America, Abi,
yeah, three to
and
five.
uh, only 13% of that is black people.
Hmm.
Black people are the only people that have been here from day one, and somehow they are just 13% of that this thing.
What
And
other races are like? Is there besides white? What other race is more populous than black? Is
okay,
there?
people
I didn't.
of South American descent, Mexicans and the rest, especially Mexicans,
Hispanics are more than blacks.
yeah, right now,
Wow,
yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah, no, I'm about to say something that may sound irky to people, but anyway, nobody aborts babies more than black people, so more than
Oh,
us. I'm a black person too, so before anybody comes and say you're racist, no, it's my people I'm talking about. Leave me the hell alone. Like that also affects our own population to a good extent. Like, and then um, there's the whole like incarceration thing, and that one is kind of it's a multi-pronged problem. Like you can't really just point one finger at it. Like there's just many issues that lead to that one. So, and I think the thing is, um, if we adjust our culture to some extent, it will solve a lot of our problems too. Because like Obama was saying, and it's something I actually believe in. Like he said, a house that doesn't have a father, like this is a complete household now, like a father and a mother, not just okay, like one, just a father, because like
yeah.
each party brings something unique to the table that the other one cannot provide. Like a house without a father is going to its son from that house is it 5 times as likely to end up as a criminal. Like there's a very bad statistic that follows it. So most
Yeah.
houses where someone end up with like a degree, a good job, living a good life, most likely had a father figure or a
Yeah.
father in that house. Because the thing is, one thing people don't seem to understand is like the mom, for example, cannot replace what the father brings to the house, and the father cannot replace what the mom brings to the house. And then
Yeah,
if you
that's
have a
true.
single parent household, whoever it is that is the one actually like heading that household is going to be overstressed all the time. Like first of all, like based on like an example you give, if it's a single mom, for example, and it's a low
Yeah,
income single mom, then there's a good chance that she's going to have to work two jobs, which is a job that should have been split. One of those jobs now would have been taken by the husband, and then the other one would have been taken by the wife. Or
yeah,
it might be okay, the husband ends up taking those two jobs, which will be sometimes less stressful for him to do. Because sometimes you can do more dangerous jobs, which might earn you more. And then the woman can just sit at home and kind of like focus on like raising the children. So those small, small things here and there end up actually changing the course of the life of the children in the household. So,
yeah,
and that one is not something that I'll say is a problem of government. It's more of our own cultural problem. Like, first of all, we need to, I'll say, we need to kind of like train our sons to kind of have like dreams, like realistic, legit dreams. Not like, okay, I want to be a rapper. I want to let them know how unsuccessful that route is. Like, okay, out of every 100 people that come out to be a musician, only like 1% of them make it. Um, Everybody that gets a PhD, if you aggregate their salary from the beginning of their career to the end of their career, actually ends up earning exactly the same as someone who had a successful basketball career.
really.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah,
the success rate for someone with a PhD is a lot more than basically everybody with a PhD gets a job.
yeah.
Everybody that like it's only like 5% of student athletes that actually make it pro. Every other person ends up having to like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think that's the like the very that sounds to me like the more interesting part of that start is like, well, if you get a PhD, you're most likely assured of getting something to do. But like before you become a pro athlete in the NBA that plays in the
Yeah, you
NBA,
might be
like
the best and then your knee breaks on the first this thing, for example. If
yeah,
you
it's true.
if you're a professor on a wheelchair, you can still come to your class and teach. Look at this guy with MS. That guy that kept showing up on Big Bang Theory, I've forgotten that his name.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. The guy could not even talk. But
Yeah.
I think he was what like $11 million when he died.
Mm.
So like this kind, we should learn to kind of like push more for like education and like hand skills and stuff, as opposed to like like because a very big part of our culture.
Besides white people, what race is most educated? Like in America, like what race has like the highest population of people in maybe not even in college that have actual degrees?
Nigerians.
Nigerians, are you serious?
Nigerians are the most educated people in America.
Like
Nigerians
even
are
compared to white,
they're more educated than everything and everybody.
what?
Yes.
Not even like Asians, so even way more than
We're more
Asian.
educated. Siko, okay. Unpopular opinion, ko. I've been in classes with Asian, Chinese
Yeah,
people, Indians, Japanese, like, and I'll say
yeah.
something that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back home we tend to like have this belief that like every Asian is smart, every Asian is like, and
Yeah,
plain truth is okay, yeah, to some extent that is valid. Like it's understandable where everybody's coming from,
mm-hmm.
but then I have this Nepali friend has told me that okay, and I've heard it multiple times from a bunch of like my Indian friends because like 90% of my friends right now are Indians. They're like, okay, they focus a lot on like the technical aspect of school, maths, intro tech,
Yeah,
like technology, that side.
yes.
So yeah, they tend to actually be very good at those things, mathematics and this, but they don't focus on every other thing. So when it comes to like stuff that has to do with like creativity and things where you have to kind of like apply yourself, they're very poor there. One, and then two, um, the things that they put pride in is very different from what we put pride in. Like every Nigerian household, when your father is kind of like boasting about you to his friends, it's like, okay, my son Soji, he's an engineer. He just got his master's the other day. He's about to go for PhD abroad. Like this is what they're boasting about. So
Yeah.
like education is a very important part of this thing. But then on top of everything, our kind of way of life has a lot to do with, like, we have that grind that comes with us. Like, you can't hide it. We're very, very creative people, as opposed to many other races. Like, our tenacity too is there again. So,
Yeah,
like, somehow, basically any Nigerian that comes here is already coming here with, at the very least, a bachelor's degree, and is very, very
yeah,
interested in at least pushing a master's or a PhD.
yeah, yeah.
So somehow, like, we just end up like being very, very educated. So 70% of the medical doctors in America are Nigerians. 70.
50%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a crazy number. 70%.
Uh-huh.
Man, you're just throwing out some numbers that just sound unbelievable. Like, I know it's right, oh. I know it's correct. Because I
So
actually went to verify
like,
like the whole population this thing, and I saw it
like we are,
that
when it comes to education, like, we're crazy, and that's why you look at, okay, most Nigerian households here, and most of it, as I said, it still boils down to, like, if you go back and look, okay, most Nigerian people have a this thing, like, you usually find a very complete family, and when maybe the father is not there because the father is probably dead and the spirit of that father is still in that house. If you go to
yeah,
a, like, Hispanic household, even if, like, there's always a father figure. If the father is not there, then there will be an uncle that will come and take over. Like, this kind, you must get it from both sides. Like, they have this kind of this thing where the abuela is like the main person in the family. You must respect that grandmother that oversees everything, because the
mm,
women tend to live a lot longer than men. So, like, the grandma is overseeing everything, cool, but she's also making sure everybody is following that right path. Like, this kind. So, like, there's we as a people, kind of say, we need to, like, um kind of stop glorifying certain things, like, stuff like anything that has to do with crime. For the most part, we need to stop glorifying it. Like, it's
yeah.
those things are not part of our culture. Thugging should not be part of our culture. Like, it should be something that, it seems cool on TV and all that, but then, like, we should treat it like the way every other race treats it. Like, if you see Italians now and, like, mafia and stuff, like, the average Italian person doesn't go around trying to pretend to be like a mafia boss or whatever. Like, I beg, leave those people, let them do their thing, because that is
Yeah,
not us. And the Chinese people and the,
we
like,
do.
all those triads and stuff, like, the average Chinese person does not associate himself with that kind of, like, they're actually striving for their own excellence in a different manner. White people too, it's not as if they don't have, every race has its own signature criminals. Like, there's no race
I
that
think,
is free
I
from
think
it.
the whole thing is the problem. So with the whole tugging and toggery and all of that, it's just that like in the like what's the number one music genre in the world now? It's hip hop.
It's hip hop.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the problematic thing with hip hop is that always black people glorifying all the shooting and all. So that kind of makes people just be in touch more with it because music is like really the strongest, like most influential thing in the world. So
Yeah, but
like
okay, like, stuff like hip hop, like, the plain truth is, they can live thugging to music artists. They can sing. 'Cause many of them are not actually thugs. Funny
that's the
story
craziest
is,
whole thing.
many of them are not thugs. Like,
Majority of them,
they just
major
sing, and then they go back to their very cushy neighborhoods, and they are fine.
true, true.
So, like, leave it for them. Like, you can enjoy the music, because it's like what we're talking about on the last podcast, and you should be able to, like, kind of like separate
Yeah, no,
the music persona from the music itself. You can enjoy the music without even liking the lifestyle of the person. Like, if I hear now that, okay, Eminem is somewhere beating his wife, like, that is his business. Like, I will probably not, you know, I won't support it. If I need to condemn it publicly, say, for example, I'll condemn it. But if I like the
yeah,
music, I'll say like the music. It's not the music that's beating his wife.
true.
So, like,
That's true. And now
just
thing is like everybody wants to put everybody else on like a pitchfork and be like, no, if you support the music, you support the person, and it's like, can you just calm down?
I think, calm down. I just like the music does. I don't agree with this person. Like, the stuff he's doing is heinous, and I agree with that. Like, it's like, this
The
can stand by
beautiful thing,
it.
we are not simple. We can be complex. Like we actually have very developed brains that have allowed us to be able to live out very complex forms of thoughts. So you can't just try to simplify the person's thoughts to like the person must, since the person likes one aspect, the person must love all aspects. Like that is actually very tiring when I hear, because sometimes I could say I like something and then I don't like the person and stuff, and then I'll get people telling me stuff like, are you not a confused person? Like, see how
That's
confused you are.
exactly. And like life is not black and white, life is not simple.
Yeah,
And like some things self, like if you look at based on some of the same people that even talking self, something based on their own life self, I'd be like, okay, maybe for example now, someone is like cool and everything, but then like okay, there was a point in this person's life where maybe like he was like he took drugs for a while and you don't do it now. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
should I permanently be judging you with those eyes? Like,
yeah.
so like this kind different things kind of like there are some things that okay, some people can put in the past, and then there are some things that okay, like even if they can't put it in the past, you can separate what they bring to the table from who they are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I might
And
feel
from
you're not
good
good
to
enough
great.
for me to invite to okay, come and meet my girlfriend, come and meet my family, that kind of thing. Come and sit down and eat with my children. But then if if maybe like you have a service that I need, for example, get that service and I'll go. You are singing, I take the songs, I move on. That's why to a good extent I really don't like I don't enjoy talking like politics with people because sometimes you might what they call it, you might support somebody and then everybody
Yeah.
just starts like trying to bring different things out about the person. Okay, we heard this thing about the guy, or we have this generalization about this person.
Politics just seems like the most polarizing subject where everybody is always trying to, associate this person with that just because you like this person and stuff.
Like
Whereas it could just be like the person's policies they are cool with, they're not
exactly.
interested,
Like personally,
you
say,
know.
I feel like nobody should follow any politician without liking their policies. Like it's based on okay, I like this politician because of these policies, or sometimes
Yeah,
if okay, like many of the people that say like supporting Trump in the beginning, many of them were supporting him because like he was just like against like political correctness. Like that was the only issue. Like they're just tired of like other politicians coming to come and do double speak and stuff. So they might
yeah.
not agree with a lot of other things that are attributed to him, but then
Um,
for that specific thing, they like him for it. So it doesn't
yeah,
necessarily mean everything that comes out of his mouth is everything that they will agree with. Like he's his own person. It's not as if anybody's voting him in as Jesus. Like he just So like there's almost no what they call it. There's almost no politician that you pick that okay, there might not be something that I agree with about them and there's something I don't agree with about them. We end up liking some people more than some other people, and then like you should be able to, because like I'm this kind of person that on a normal day I actually enjoy talking politics. I like that back and forth. In fact, I like talking stuff where I know that other people have
yeah,
different opinions on, so that we can actually have a good back and forth talk.
yeah,
But at times, like you have people where okay, you're talking with someone and they're uninformed though, one, and then two, they have strong um very strong opinions without any prior information. They're like,
yeah.
how do you have this kind of strong this thing? How do you have this kind of strong opinions without any info? Like the funny thing, like I was having this conversation last week with a friend of mine, but and then we're talking about how like we're talking about this whole like coronavirus thing, and the guy said
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, okay, like this stuff, like we cannot deny that like this kind of China messed up in the beginning, like
Mm-hmm.
them lying about everything, hiding the this thing, hiding information and all that, and then a
Yeah.
person goes, I'm following the American narrative on this. I'm like, yes, I watch American news, but I watch and read a lot of news. So it's not just like it's the American narrative. Like this, based on people that have done investigations and stuff. The guy is like, oh, so I'm actually believing what I'm seeing in the American news. So I'm like, okay, like I'm talking to an educated person now. Let me give you benefit of the doubt. Where do you get your own news from? And then
Okay.
person now sees the fault in his own way of thinking. And then he goes, I don't watch any news. I'm
Wow.
like, okay, so are you do you have these strong opinions based on just info in your head that were formulated in your head, Abby? because at least even if my info may be wrong, I'm getting
Yeah.
it from a source that goes out to
Yeah.
find it. So I can't. I'm not someone that likes to argue all these kind of like conspiracy theories. Like you just believe, okay, no, this is, and then I'm like, okay, what is your source? Where is your source? And then you cannot provide it. Then why do you have an opinion when you don't have a source? Another thing is, I don't believe anybody's entitled to any opinion that they are not willing to defend. Like, don't come. You can't just come and tell me, okay, take my opinion because I said it. Like,
That's true.
I
Major
will
mistake made
not.
these days. But like
That's
that, what's that? Like, what's even that? What's even that? Like, how can you say you don't even have like a source of your information, but like you are now questioning somebody's understanding and then somebody's gathered opinion that the person got from obviously following something, and then you that didn't follow anything, you're not actually question. Like, I'm even trying to see the sense in that. So, like, how is it supposed to even be right? Like in the first place, just because he thinks a specific way, just based on how he thinks personally, like is that. Now,
yeah.
I was even wondering if you're going to say something like, okay, we'll say he follows Chinese news, and I'll be like, that is problematic. But like, if you
As
even
in,
follow,
as in,
if you
yeah,
say,
yeah, you're like
if
you're
you
not
say
following anything. Like I'm like, okay, like this is the end of this conversation. I'm not actually going further on this. Like let's just talk about something more general, something.
Like, I think nowadays people just want to go on this whole venture, this whole crusade where it's like they question everything. Like, yes, for sure, we know that the media is manipulative about a lot of things, but then
Yeah,
I now tell me like, okay, because they manipulate, you're going to say you don't even listen to anything at all. You don't read anything at all. Like,
I
you're just
see.
a person in your own mind and you just have your opinions, and then people should take you
Just
serious.
take
People
it.
should actually listen. People should
Exactly.
actually listen to what you have to say because you have your own way of thinking. Like, somebody like that actually does not even deserve to have conversations with people. They should probably just be locked up in a place of their own. Like,
I say, just kind of chill with your opinions. Just be where you are. Like it's fine. It's okay. Like there's no. But because I realized, okay, when I got into politics and I got very interested in like talking about politics and this, because in the beginning I didn't care. I was just kind of like, I don't care. Like I know politicians are liars. I know newscasters are liars. So I don't care. And then my brother one day is like, Siko, if you don't care about politics, politics just cares about you. So it's better to actually know and know who is lying than not even know anything about it. And then it's harder to manipulate you. You get. And
yeah.
because I had certain political leanings when I was at home that changed when I got here. Because like I became more informed on certain things, and then you judge some other things based on your own personal morals. Okay, like I don't agree with this stuff that this person does. I don't agree with these policies, and I've seen how these other policies affect me. Sometimes,
Yeah.
because to be frank, we're all selfish people, and just
Yeah,
because
their
something
own
negatively affects somebody
interest.
else doesn't necessarily mean it negatively affects you. And what you are here on
First
this
things
world
first,
for
of
is you and
interest, though, like
yours.
to politics. It really should be like self-interest first. Because I mean, it's your vote. You're not voting
Exactly.
because
You're not voting for your entire community, you're voting for yourself. It's your
that's
family,
just
that
it.
kind of thing. So some of those stuff changed, and then I started saying, okay, so I'm like, okay, normally these are my friends. I have these conversations with them now, like this kind of, at least we talk everything, so we should be able to go back and forth on things. Like, and then you
Yeah.
throw some arguments, and then you have someone looking at you and telling you you're acting white, you are not black anymore. I'm like, wait, were you there when they were voting me to be black? Like, who did you were you part of the people that made that decision? I'm black because I'm black and it has nothing to do with you. Like this kind.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. Like you can't tell me, and that is the thing. And most people that okay, because I've kind of really dialed down on like talking politics with most people. I almost don't talk about it with almost anybody again. So if I just kind of, for the most part, like I talk about it with my sisters, my family, maybe a few of you, and that's just it. And because like two things. One, I don't want to talk with anybody that is strongly opinionated. Like person that knows like willing to listen to reason. Like the whole idea of you people exchanging ideas is I say my own because I think it's right. And then you say your own because you think it's right. And then
Yeah.
we can end up coming to a consensus. Okay, maybe something that I was feeling very strongly about. I did not actually look at it from your own perspective. That's why I was strongly believing in my own. But then now that
Yeah.
I've seen sense in what you have said, I can now think for myself on my own this thing. And then, okay, maybe, yeah, I actually believe in this thing. He said, now I understand this one from this extent, I understand why people do this like this. And so, yeah, maybe I shouldn't strongly just believe that, okay, like maybe, you know how someone just wake up one day and just like everybody that is in prison deserves to be in prison without really taking nuance into the matter. Anybody that cannot really understand nuance at all, like,
Yeah.
I'm not having. So based on some of those small small things, I end up like losing some of my own friends. Like at least that closeness I had to some of them because you can't
Yeah.
really, if you can talk, have a discussion like an intelligent discussion with somebody, and almost
Yeah.
anything. Because these days everything is linked back to politics. If you are talking music, music goes to politics. It goes if
Yeah.
it's not going to politics, it's going to
You
race.
know,
From race, it's going to politics. Everything just
yeah.
ends up
Almost
leading like
everything
that.
actually, like the political climate right now is really, really, really strong. Like, and you can feel it everywhere. Like, actually, recently, so I even lost a friend. If I can put it that way. Like,
Mm.
only that's what I think happened. So I think I lost a friend, and like the whole thing with that was just like he's a very strong Buhari fan, like
Okay.
very, very, very strong Buhari fan. So I know we're having like one back and forth. It didn't even start with politics, so I've forgotten what it started with. But like, just like you said, now everything kind of works its way back
Mm.
to politics. So we started talking of like this notice social media bill that they're trying to pass the other time. I don't even know how far they went with it. I know they said it kind of passed like the first two phases, but I don't know if it was completed. It definitely wasn't completed because it's not enforced. Yeah. And like he's a strong Buhari fan, strong Buhari fan. So it was like, to be honest, that do I honestly think it makes sense for the president or the governors to be like trying to conduct their duty, trying to help the nation, and then people are in their houses, like on their couches or on their beds, just typing whatever kind of like slanderous messages and stuff like that. And I'm like, but the unfortunate thing is like this is something very hard to take the good and the bad because when they were campaigning and all that, they also used these platforms and these were the platforms they used to reach out to the people and they try
Exactly.
to get the message out there. So you can't come and tell me now that you can conveniently use it when it's going to favor you and then when it's going to propagate your propaganda. But then all of a sudden, because people are now saying two or three negative things about you, you want to take it away from them. Like that is definitely not what they elected you in power to do. And then he goes on to say, like, to be very honest, if like maybe people like Trump, if people
Mm.
should talk about Trump like this, I don't think they'll arrest them and stuff. Like if they talk about the Queen of England and stuff, and I'm like, you have to honestly be very disillusioned if you even think Buhari is even hearing anything at all.
Exactly, because at
Like
least have you looked at the comments under any Trump tweet?
that's what I'm saying. Like I
Like
was like, you have to be completely out of your marbles, like completely. But if you even think these guys are even going through anything, like, because you can't even compare the population of people that are online
and
like
I
that
and
advocate
I
people
informed
like
enough
real
to actually come.
exactly.
Like if you
Like
know the kind of access people have to their politicians here, cool. See our mayor, the mayor of my town here. I've met the guy multiple times. Like I've been within talking distance where I can be like this guy is so okay, thank you. Like there's this thing that you guys did. Like I've been able to say that. Most people, they are senators for their district, their congress people for their district. They have to do town halls where they will come and stand, and then people will tell them the problem they have, and people will tell them the problem they also have with them. During this whole
mm,
impeachment stuff, there's this
yeah,
thing in Pennsylvania. There's this district in Pennsylvania. Like they're like,
yeah,
okay, we have right now our two main issues are education and the health system in this district. We are voting
okay,
you as opposed to voting the other guy to go to Congress and go and fight to get us funds to improve our education and health system down here. And then the person went there and was following them and shouting impeachment. When this is a democratic district, so this is not Republicans where you say, okay, maybe they like Trump or something. That's why. When
yeah,
they called during in the middle of the impeachment, they summoned their congressperson back to come and do it by force this thing. And they booed the congressperson. And like this kind, that's what democracy is about. Like this kind, you should be able to have access to your politicians and let them know when you are not happy. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter
Oh,
whether they like it or not. They did not go there for you to like them. Like
that's just the thing.
that's just the
Like the
difference
unfortunate
between
thing
this
is
thing and a
in Nigeria,
dictatorship.
like yeah, it's just a pure career like that. Just all is like it's they just see it like work, like maybe a way to feed their families and nothing else. Like they're just there to collect the money and then go home and then feed their family. Like it's just a profession for them, but it's in no way like a quid pro quo type of thing. There's like
Yeah,
there's no accountability at all. Like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Because like I would love to. I don't think in Nigeria you could see something like a town hall. Like yo, I don't think there's anything like that where the
I've not seen
politician.
any politician that has done that yet.
Yeah, but I
And
think,
until we
but
can do that, you can't really
yeah,
change anything
but I think on
because
the very at the very local levels they do stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
but all the
the
way to the federal level, what are the senators for? Like they're supposed to
yeah,
come and listen to their district people. Like
yeah, I think it's
every
supposed it's going to be this type of arrangement where the local person is supposed to take the whatever feedback he gets up the up the food line or whatever up the chain. But then I know most times that does not even happen at all.
yeah,
And
then
even if it happens,
everybody's just fighting for a higher office. Everybody just goes and does yes sir.
at the end of the day, that's just it.
Because I'm like, it doesn't. It's not like the things. People people only look at like they don't really see when they look abroad. They don't really see the way things are done because if you
That
follow everything and you
makes
copy,
work.
like sometimes if they even you end up like copying a because Nigeria and America are supposed to have very similar. We are both federations. We're not actually complete democracies. You're supposed to kind of have the same kind of similar system where okay, you have that like separation of power where the presidency doesn't have all the power, the
Yeah,
judicial area doesn't have all the power, and then the legislative arm also doesn't have all the power. Like all of them are supposed to kind of like balance each other out. But then we
true.
somehow just carry all the power and just put in the hands of the president and then keep end up
Mhm.
giving them more and more and more and more power. Then taking power from the hands of the governors, taking power from the hands of the local to the extent that the local government doesn't even have any power again at all. And then
That's-
we now just want to sit down and just be like, okay, I like this guy because he's a Hausa person, or I like this person because he's a Muslim, or I like this person because he's a Christian, and we just stop there. But okay, him being a Christian and like this thing, the policies he's passing, how are they affecting you? If it's not
true.
affecting you in a sensible manner, like you should actually come and cast the person. Like, what's my business if a Christian is in power if I'm hungry? Like, I'm not eating his religion. So like this kind, or somebody from my tribe now is in power. Then like, so what? It's not the first time
That's
that somebody from your tribe is in power. Like when that person enters, things
like
usually still don't change for the better for your own people.
yeah,
So
the level of uneducation is just like non-education rather.
the funny
And
thing
it's
is,
not
most of the people
necessarily
that you end up complaining about this are actually educated people. Like they get because even like on that Buhari matter too, I can't just decide to stop like 100% stop talking about like Nigerian politics with people with Nigerians entirely. Like I don't even anybody that starts it, I just somehow segue out of the conversation and move elsewhere. Like it's kind of even with general politics now, safe. Like most times when people bring it up, I can't just shift. It depends on the person. Like if I'm talking with you now, most times we can go back and forth. So I'm like, okay, yeah. But most of my other friends that I talk with, when they start, because I know exactly where it's headed, like you cannot just sit down and just want me to just sit down and be insulting Trump all day. I'm like, you don't understand the news. You don't know the news. Why are we you can't come and be someone come now and be quoting Trevor Noah for me. And like when I know that 90% of what this guy is saying is a lie. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip from the episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We end up uploading everything as a full episode, maybe like 2-3 hours long. So you can enjoy this on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Just we just put it out there, just have fun and just talk about random stuff. So if you enjoyed this, share this with your friends, subscribe to our channel and talk about us, just spread the word. Thank you very much.